Hi, I think I'm recording. Hello, hello. I miss you. Even this feels like a big connection for me to think of you as I'm reaching out here. I want to talk to you about how we're going to try to open the studio back up right now for July and August, and where we've been, a little bit about where we've been, and if I can do this in under 15 minutes and figure out all the technology, then I can put it up on YouTube and send you a connection. It is my fervent hope. But I hope that you're well and that your families are well and that this time is not too heavy on your heart. My family is okay. Some rough spots, but we got through. Health is good. Everybody's health is good. Thank you. I know you've been sending energy to me like I've been sending love and energy to you. Yeah, so I put together a little thing here. We're going to see if it works. See, I'm going to share the screen, and I hope that I'm going to do a little slideshow here. Okay, and what I'm hoping is that you get to look at this instead. So this is our third, fourth grade program, our after school program that we had going in the fall. I'm sure you remember that we teach kindergarten through 8th grade. So I just picked one class to show what they were doing in the before time and how much we were getting out of meeting and sewing projects. Look at that pride in that project, huh? Well, that's where we were at and why we were doing what we were doing at the school. And I didn't realize until it was all gone from me how much energy I received from them, from that interaction with them. These are Christmas and after Christmas. So clever. Look at all this wonderful handwork. Yeah. So right in here we're coming in through Valentine's, playing with hearts. And now we're all at home. These pictures are pictures I took of the screen the first time I got together with kids, and they showed me the art that they were doing in absence of their after school class. These are some of the things that they were proud of. And so we began to draw together. Lots of fun things on the internet that we would do research. Families had to struggle with technologies, but they hung in together and figured it out. And we figured out how to be together and saw all their cats and their, all the private stuff of their home. Oh, there's the lizard. Yeah, so we went to drawing online and trying to figure out, there's socks. We made socks and puppets, trying to figure out how to do this. And I began to put together art kits, individual art kits. So each would have supplies, and you can see they kept coming. They just kept coming. And so we painted together, and this is a Mother's Day card project. Very complicated, and we were able to do it online, a 3D pop-up card, sculptures out of watercolor paper, and then unique sculptures. Here's the hidden door project. What's behind your hidden door? Surprise! It's a candy galaxy. Yeah. So that's what we did, and we put together, these are out of order, but we put together these packs, and people picked them up at MK's garage. So the little ones got some clay sets. Everybody got something. It's 20 some of them there. And that brings us back So I'm going to stop that share for a moment. Thanks for indulging. I really enjoy seeing the kids, and the transition, of course, is fascinating. I'm a compulsive photo taker, and so happen to have all of that on my phone. So what we learned is that with art packs, we can do that with kids. With the regulations that there are now, we don't feel that we can protect them or ourselves and still have a fun art experience. But we can online have a fun art experience. And so that's what we're offering them this year. And in fact, that's what we're going to offer them in September for the academic year. They will all, if they do start school, they'll already be exposed all day at school. So we'll do after school programs with those art packs and those packages. And that's the way we're going to do summer camp. And that's, so how that matters to us today is that it means that we won't be holding children's classes in the seminary. And that's a good thing for us. That protects us, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take over the whole space. That's adults, right? Kids have a lot of places that they can gather. People are looking out for them. And of course, we'll continue to look out for them too. But I feel like we need a place to gather, and that's something. And we're going to start it out as a club. We're moving everything to club. The children are going to a club, and what that means is membership, a little bit more control. I'm hoping that that will be a reassuring thing for people, that they'll know that's who's in the building, are people in the club. So this video is going to go out to anybody that was enrolled in the last, in this academic year, really since September, probably January 1st, and invite you to go to makersphere.com, Makersphere Vermont, VG.com, and take a look at the registration opportunity that I will put out there before I send this to you. And let me tell you what that will give us access to, so that if you choose to, you can go out there and enroll, and this is what it would be. So I'm trying to design a simple system of self-scheduling. I think it will be in Google Calendar, because I think that's the most common calendar to do it in. And I know that this isn't going to work for everybody, and we're going to figure out how to make it work for everybody, but starting with Google Cal. And students will be able to go out and enroll, register, schedule themselves in 4-hour blocks of time. So from 8 to noon, from, I don't know, what is that, noon to 4, and 4 to 8. So if Tuesday from 8 to noon is your spot, then you want to get yourself right in there and sign up for it. We're going to start out with 4 people at a time in the studio period in those both big rooms. The issue with exposure and ventilation is the amount of time that we spend. So when we go out and do retail and grocery shopping, you know, we're pretty surgical, right? In and out. We're talking about hanging out for 3 or 4 hours with our friends in the studio. And so we're looking at having it be more sparse to start with. And we will evolve, right? We'll figure that out from there. So 4 people at a time, 4-hour blocks at a time. You don't have to find all 3 other people. You could just sign up for it and somebody else will. Or your friend that you're missing, and I'm thinking of so many pairs of us. I could pick on Grace and Kelly here because they came in as a pair. You might very well want to get those blocks of time together. This is about opening up so that you can spend time with the people that you want to be spending time with, and doing clay and doing art. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. Excuse me. There'll be a protocol to enter upon entering the studio. It'll all be written out on a clipboard. It'll be as simple as it can possibly be and as efficient as possible, right? And there'll be a protocol when you go to close up at the end of your 4-hour stint. It's going to be $100 a month. We closed our doors at the end, in the middle of a session. So what I'd like to do is credit everyone 1 month and credit the month of July. I realize that some people are not going to be available to jump back in July. It would be August before they could, in which case that's fine. Then it would be August that would be that you would be credited for. But let's see if we can get it cleaned up within the summer so that the academic year won't have those challenges additional to it as well. Okay. Yeah, then I think what I'll be doing is making some videos. I'll do a video and be able to put it up here on YouTube or wherever else we end up figuring it works best for you, because it might be a couple of different places. But if they're not meant to be shared outside the studio, they kind of belong to us, okay? Us, you, me, us. So I'll do one on hand building, throwing, glazing, maybe trimming. Since I'll be throwing, I'll have pieces to trim. And that's what that looks like. So until we start to hear back from people, we won't know what the comfort level is of people together. And until we see how it unfolds out there outside of New England, we're not going to know what our fall looks like. By opening up just a little bit like this, I think that we could weather an increase in cases if they're not in our county, I think, and some of the national storm of not knowing where to go next. And, you know, visitors are going to come back to Vermont, and who knows how that's going to change our landscape. So by being really controlled with this right now, I'm hoping that we can, that we could continue this even if there's a rise a little bit in things. And let me see if I can share the screen again and come to, get out of my way here. I wanted to share a little bit of what I have done in the studio. It looks like I'm going to be able to pull this off. Look at this. Just as if I knew what I was doing. I took some before pictures, and it's a big change to not have the children there. So that'll be a wholesale change. And as we kind of take over that other room, there's the glazed corner. Yeah, so these are the before time. That's a big mess over there still, that one is. And here's out of order, here's what we've done is wrapped up the individual sets of shelving in a soft fabric, a clear fabric actually of Michael's, excuse me, and it's very easy to open. And I'll go to a picture and we'll talk about that for just a little bit. But this way, when you're in the studio, you don't have to be concerned about, yeah, how about that? There's our glazed pantry, huh? And there it is all clean actually before I wrapped it. So yeah, some nice improvements. I think that might bring us back full circle. Just a few pictures so you would know what to expect a little bit when you go in. It's actually kind of pretty to see it all wrapped up like that. So let's go back to sharing the screen and picking one of these pictures to look at. Yeah, so just as we look at this picture, I don't know if you can see up in this corner, it's just softly tied in a knot up around here. And so when you come in to use the studio, excuse me, just untie the knot and then you can leave it open when you're using the studio and then just tie them up when you go back. Okay, so I'm hoping that that's going to give us a little reassurance that your shelf will be contained unless somebody on that set of shelves has been in to play. And then of course we'll have a little logbook for contact and you'll be able to look on it and see. And this may be too much precaution. Let's hope we swing in that direction. Okay, and we'll continue to study airflow and that, because that seems to be a little bit of the bigger picture. And then I guess that's everything. We're working on an art club that will meet virtually for adults as well. You'll get information on that right away. That's going to be interesting. It's called Art Rage. So yeah, think about that a little bit. And we just got contacted by Zemke, but it's not, I don't know if it's Zemke Glass, but someone has glass kilns and stained glass equipment and glass melting equipment to donate to us. And so if we're not going to have children in our building, that front room can evolve in 1,000 different ways, and maybe we'll get some glass stuff going in there. So it'll be wonderful to see what our next is. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So if this is of interest to you, please reach out and email us regardless. We want to hear from you. Jamie's ready to field all the emails, and we want to hear from you one way or the other, of course. If you're interested in jumping in this way, Makersphere VT, and I'll go build a place for that to land and continue to work on the self-scheduling calendar. Yeah, so here we are. My friends, I hope to see you soon. I will be back and forth, and I'll be watching the calendar fill up and make a point to come in and say hello and get a real connection with you. And I am looking forward to that. All right, wishing you well. Hope to see you soon.